Scott Free is going live.
Let's go.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
Broadcasting live.
Listen live online 24/7.
24/7. Around the world.
Right here. Right now.
It's 300 Radio.
And you know this, man.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Scott Free Morning Show. If you guys have been hanging with me this morning, you already know shit has been going crazy already. I have started the stream 2 or 3 times already, and we are just getting it popping now. So hopefully the stream stays going. Hopefully everything stays up and popping. It's Friday, guys, so today we're going to be free. I spoke to my co-host this morning, Ms. Lovey. She said she wants to run the topic today. So since she wants to run the topic, we just gonna call her up, see what she got going on. I think she says she has a short day today, so I don't want to waste you guys' time. Let's just dive right into it. So here we go.
It's time for the Chill Report.
It's about to go down.
Oh my goodness. This is my favorite part of the show. It's called the Chill Report. Oh, I love it. But the guy who gives the news, they hate to give the news.
Really? For once in your life, just do the fucking news. All right? No. I'm gonna do the fucking news. No. Here is the fucking news.
All right, we are back. So I'm gonna go and get her called up. Now, here's the thing, though. If this feed drops on Instagram, guys, don't worry. The playback will be there later today. You'll be able to hear later on today. So no worries. Like I said, I've been having a couple of technical difficulties, but I don't want to mess it up so bad. See, I can hear it now. Yeah, it's going in and out. So hopefully the feed holds up, but hopefully it does. If it doesn't, let's get it going. So let's make sure we get as much conversation as we can. So let's go here. Let's give her a call. All right, here we go, guys.
Hello.
Hey. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Just wanted to make sure. This thing has been going a little haywire today, so I just want to let you know, okay? Stream is not stable. So when it's like that, I just have a hell of a time. But anyways, how are you?
I am good now.
Okay, so you're good. All right. So the reason why I say this is because I told the people already that you want to run the topic today. So they're already expecting it. So what you got in your mind today? And it's Free Friday, so you can say whatever you fucking feel like. Let's get into it.
Well, we've been covering a lot of heavy subjects lately.
Oh God! All
I
right.
thought we could, make it breezy today.
You want to lighten things up?
Both. Yeah.
Okay.
I think since we're both big wrestling fans, I thought it'd be cool to discuss, the PLE coming up tomorrow, Elimination Chamber match.
Is that tomorrow?
It's tomorrow.
Shit. Has it been a month since the Rumble? Damn. Okay. All right.
Yes.
I didn't even realize it.
And I just wanted to get your thoughts about how do you feel like WrestleMania 41 is shaping up? Are you excited?
I'll be honest. Last year I was a little bit more excited solely because I didn't know what the fuck was happening when The Rock showed up. Now this year,
right,
it's a bit different because I saw Friday when he came to SmackDown and he sat there with Cody. First and foremost, you messed it up with the Netflix premiere because you should have never even addressed Cody that night. You shouldn't have.
True.
But now that you did it,
they shouldn't have got rid of that kayfabe. Yeah.
No, it was no point of that. So now you're doing it. So, but I think where they're going with it, I think they're trying to make where it's going to be like he's going to try to make Cody his guy. It's like he's turning into Vince McMahon. That's what it felt like to me. If that's the case, I think what they're trying to do, they're still trying to push him into the bad guy so him and Roman can go at it. Now that may be where they're going. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm so confused, like I was last year. The element of I don't know what the heck is going on is there. The investment isn't quite where it was for me last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's because part of it has to do with the fact that he broke kayfabe at the Netflix premiere, but you know, I don't know. I was invested in finishing the story.
I wasn't, but I know you was.
Huh?
I wasn't, but I knew you was last year.
I mean, it's all of last year was great storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I feel like Rock is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, he's holding up progress
for them. Like literally not knowing what he was gonna do,
mm-hmm.
and always in this last minute crap, they weren't able to develop any storylines throughout the year.
Nah,
it's like
they didn't do it.
Been put on hold.
Yeah, they did. And see, but this is what like me and Destiny, that's my daughter, to the crowd. Me and Destiny was talking about that, and see what she thinks is that she said is rumored Triple H knows how to do a great build up, but he doesn't know how to capitalize once that story has been told, and it kind of feels that way.
Well, he pulled it through last year, but to be honest, watching the YouTube about the behind the scenes, it seemed like Rock kind of pulled it out the toilet last year.
Okay. I didn't
because it was his idea, according to him. It was originally his idea to go toe to toe with Roman, and then when the fans let it be known that ain't what they want,
right?
He went to Triple H and initiated the whole final boss storyline.
Okay.
So he caused the rift, but he fixed it too. And
gotcha.
So I feel like same thing here. I think he caused the rift because everybody was expecting him to turn on Roman. At least I was.
Roman I was expecting it.
Netflix, and it didn't happen. And so it doesn't even feel like there's a story there right now. Like how can you set up the story from what is it? It'll be March 1st
tomorrow.
In a month.
Yeah.
Like,
that's not enough time to build that story. The only way they would have to do it, Rock literally is going to have to show up every Raw, every SmackDown, and Roman, and leading up to WrestleMania if they were going to try to push that from this point on.
And to me, Roman, I get it. They didn't want him. They didn't want him in the championship picture yet, and they didn't want him to get pinned or lose two PLEs back to back. So they injured him, quotation marks, so he wouldn't have to be a part of the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, so he's not in it. Okay, so I'd actually tell you I haven't watched the last 2 weeks. So give me for the friends, give me everyone that's in the chamber right now in the males, and then we'll get to the females.
So who's in the chamber is John Cena.
Okay, oh God.
CM Punk. Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
Logan Paul.
They keep pushing that motherfucker. I'm so tired of seeing him.
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I try to be as unbiased in life as possible. I do not like this guy.
Me too.
I don't like him, guy.
And you know what's crazy about it? And what's crazy about it? He can wrestle his ass off. I'm not trying to diminish his skill set. Yeah, go ahead.
For him to come in, could you imagine how good he could be if he
took it serious?
Like fully invested in it, right? Like, I mean, to come in with that level of raw talent and to kill it like he do is amazing. I don't like him as a human being, but you cannot deny this boy.
Yeah, he's talented. I cannot deny it, but I have a problem with jumping in front of the line. I have a really big problem with that. So if you're going to jump in front of the line and do it, I just feel like you should be there every week like everyone else. You should not be able to pull out for big pay-per-views and then that's all the time you wrestle. That bothers me.
They asked him to try to go full-time. And you know what I heard? Well, this is what I heard. Allegedly, they asked him to go full-time. And he said, if you pay me $250 million. Now, over what span, I don't know, but let's get this straight. Roman only makes $15 million with his contract.
Yeah,
that should tell you. But this is my thing. You gotta respect. I have to respect that because the dude makes millions of dollars outside of
I get it.
WWE.
Get it.
That's where he makes his money.
Right.
So in order for him to be fully invested as a full-time wrestler, he would. If you don't pay him that, then he's going to be losing money. And why
Okay.
would he do that?
But this is my only issue, and I have no problem with that. So basically what you're saying is that they keep him around for name's sake. He does it because it's a way to keep promoting himself, but he ain't going to commit completely, and I get that. But my issue is this. Stop putting him at the top of your food chain. That's the problem I have. If you want to bring him out for matches at pay-per-views, that's fine. I have no issues with that. But this whole he's taking spots. Montez deserves a spot eventually. And I know that's a whole nother subject.
I was gonna bring him up too, but since you brought him up, let me say this real quick about Logan Paul. I get what you're saying. I do. And part of me feels the same way. But then the other part of me got to remember, this is a business.
Right.
And do you know ISO Speed?
Yes.
When he got steered 300 million views.
Okay.
For that one, you know,
but
it's a business.
Can I say this? But I'm also say too, that was you talking about 300 million views off of that short clip from ISP, right?
Yeah.
That's Braun Breaker. They ain't had shit to do with ISP. That was all Braun Breaker.
But the reason why no. Braun Breaker spears people like that every other week.
That is true.
And he don't make 300 million views.
That's true.
He got it because ISO Speed is such a popular person, and everybody wanted to see that. So I say that Logan Paul brings viewership because he has such a following, and that's why he has a following, huge following outside of wrestling. On top of that, he's good at what he's doing in the ring. So I get it. And Triple H actually said, he was like, y'all talking about, I guess, wrestlers have an issue with that, with him coming in like that. And he's like, well, how did Triple H put it? He was like, something to the effect of, you don't like it, step your game up. If you don't like it.
Hey, I totally get that. I totally get that. But see, my only issue with that statement, though, that he made is this, though. When he makes that statement like these people really control the outcomes of what they get to do. Now, I do agree they control. Sometimes they can step their game up. I'm not saying that you can't show initiative, but I also know, like we said, Montez, let's use him as an example. Montez has shown a lot of initiative. Montez, when he was given the opportunity to be in the chamber, he showed the fuck out. But then all of a sudden, we shelve him. So I don't like that. It's like, said, don't tell me just this is what I need to do, because he's doing that. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's I'm trying to figure out what the freak is going on with Tez, because how do you not, and they keep showing clips like promoting this year's Elimination Chamber, they're showing clips of his
him
performance.
Yeah.
And I don't, for the life of me, his wife is one of the top stars on the show.
Right.
I don't, for the life of me, understand why they are keeping the handcuffs on him.
Can I just say this? And I know you don't like when I go here, but I'm just gonna say it.
I already know what you think, but let your viewers know what you think.
But they probably do, but I'm just going to say, but mine is this. Give me an explanation other than outright, we don't like to promote black males in wrestling. And the reason why I say that is because we have to stop it. Look, let's just be honest. Black people are the most athletically gifted, if not intellectually as well, but we'll leave that for another time. But athletically gifted people on the planet Earth. We are some of the biggest characters that you're going to find when it comes to planet Earth, because we're always playing a character. When you're in your job, you have to code switch, all this other good jazz. So we're good for it all the time. But for some reason, it never seems to translate over in wrestling. For some reason, we seem to get the same generic. What's that guy named Ali? What's his name? Apollo Creed. What was it? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apollo Crews is a smaller version of what's the nigga that fell underneath the ring, running to the ring.
Titus O'Neil.
he's just a small version of him. They just keep making carbon copy boring black guys when it comes to that. Now, I'm not talking about NXT, because I know NXT is a different ball game. But what I'm saying is, so far as popularity, it makes sense to me. They just constantly do this to black people.
So let me ask you this. So you think when the time comes and they call up Trick Williams,
mm-hmm.
you feel like he's going to be Montez when he gets to the
I think they're gonna
roster.
I think they're gonna do Trick just like they do what's the name right now. Damn, I'm drawing blanks like a mug today. But my man, the little dude.
I know who you're talking about.
God, what's his
him?
name?
What is his name?
Yeah, that's him.
Carmelo.
Melo never misses. Yes, Melo was the most popular thing in NXT. And I get it. They still give him matches on the wrestle. I'm not talking about that. But what I'm saying, like Destiny made a good point. Remember, me and you argued about his popularity and what they're doing with him. But Destiny made a good point, and she supports what you say, but she agreed with me on this one. Why put Melo into a beef with a guy who doesn't even speak English? Because you don't want him to have any good promos. So,
oh, you're talking about
Andrade. Wasn't it Andrade?
Oh, Andrade. But let me tell you though, he don't need to speak English for him to get on the mic and do his thing now. Because he can come out on the ring, come out back and get the mic. I hear what you're saying,
right?
But
you disagree.
I don't.
Is what you saying?
I don't. I think personally, I think that I think he's torn. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Tez is torn. Mm-hmm. I know Tez wants to be a singles champion, but at the same time, I think he worries
about Dawkins.
And I think he's like he don't want to leave him behind, but at the same time, he wants to soar. And it's like I feel like he might be torn a little bit. I think that plays a role in it.
Potentially. I can see it because I did watch the whole reality show with him and Bianca, and you could see that he's always getting at Dawkins about, his appearance and trying to do more, and Dawkins basically being complacent and where he at. So I saw all of that.
So we'll see. I mean, let's be real. The way he wrestles, he scares the crap out of me.
Who, Montez?
I literally close my eyes at least once every time he's in the ring. The way he jumps out the ring.
Yes, dope.
The way he jumps, it's like he go head, but he don't know where he landed. It's just like, boom, I'm out. And it scares the crap out of me.
He will throw the shit out of himself into outside the ring onto a group of people in a minute. But I'm so scared for him every time he do that. It's so. Oof. And I was gonna say this too to the whole subject, and I'll say this to the subject too. The thing that I always have an issue is as I watch it is that I'm looking at the guys at the top right now, and I get it. We all have our preferences. I just say, and I will always beat this drum beat right here. Why is it people like Seth Rollins can't fall back down the ladder, but for some reason, when a black person literally is at that spot, once you lose, you know where you're going. Every time you lose, it's it. You're not coming back up here anymore. And that's why, even though we call him the bisexual Undertaker, even though he's not black, but he gives that ethnic look as Damian Priest. Damian Priest is gonna fuck around, and if I'm telling you, if he doesn't get, because they're giving him shots, but if he don't take hold of,
he's the other one in the elimination.
Oh God! So okay, he has to keep showing out. They're giving it to him, but even to me, I think he's average at best. I don't think he's big. I think Braun Strowman should get more than what Priest Holmes get. I mean Priest.
We about to argue. Are you serious?
Yes. You think Damian's good?
Huh?
You think Damian's good?
You know what you need to do? You need to go. You need to go. I think your opinion would change. They did after he won the title at WrestleMania last year. They did like a documentary on his life. I promise you, you watch that, you will change your opinion. And I'm sorry. I'm gonna say this. As far as Braun, I like Braun as a person. He seemed like a big old teddy bear, right?
Right.
So as a person, I like him. But sometimes it just seemed like he just big for no reason. just like his ex-girlfriend. You know who he used to date?
Who was he dating?
Raquel Rodriguez.
Okay, Raquel. Now I agree with Raquel. I do agree Raquel ain't shit. I agree. She's getting pushed for nothing. But when it comes to Braun, I feel like Braun is the type of person, like I put him in the category like they do black people. They have a lot of bit of talent, but they don't try to explore different options with him. It's like they've pigeonholed him into a look, and even though they've changed a couple of times with his look, but it's still the same Braun every time.
You know what I think, and to Undertaker made this statement, and I totally agree with it. He doesn't invest in the kayfabe. When you're being built up like a monster, like the Canes of the world and stuff like that.
Right.
If Kane's real name is Glenn. if we saw Kane come out the back, and then we go on social media and see Glenn, we wouldn't be invested in Kane.
True.
Because
true.
Right. And so I don't know if you've ever seen his social media. This man was on. He did him, Jinder Mahal, and Drew McIntyre. This was years back. Not that.
I remember when they were was a 3-man band or whatever it was back in the day. I remember you.
No. It was basically the three of them did Braun, Drew, and I think it was Drew and Jinder Mahal. They all worked out with C.T. Fletcher. You know who C.T. Fletcher is?
Hell yes, C.T. I still listen to C.T. even though he don't work out like that no more. His old ass. Yes, I know who C.T. is.
You know what I did? I don't know if you ever heard of Cameo, but Eric was a big fan. My husband.
I know Cameo. I know who Cameo is.
Yeah, I did. I had him do a cameo for his birthday one year.
Oh, for real. CT is a motherfucker. And I'm gonna tell you, he's one of the. I already get sidetracked. Yes, I love CT Fletcher.
So he kind of he was working them out. I think Braun threw up or something. He just came off very weak looking. And then recently, he was in a arm wrestling contest with this arm wrestler, like I guess this professional arm wrestler. And Braun was over here. He was struggling. And, his face looking all. The dude he was arm wrestling was laughing.
Okay.
And then he was playing with Braun. And then he just boom.
But was the dude a professional at it though? That's the question.
I know, but and then he acts himself on his social media. He's a real big goofy teddy bear guy. Mm-hmm. You can't come on. You can't be one way on yourself on social media.
You can't.
And then come out like they kind of I think it was Taker. I'm not sure if it was Taker, but the Wyatt Six or what's the name of it?
I know you're talking about.
Where the heck now I think about it, where the heck they at? But
yeah, how you bring them do such a big build up for them and then just dissipate all of a sudden?
So they, the night after their debut as a group, they allow a fan to take their picture out of character at like this restaurant or something, and it kind of took away the mystique. I've never seen Bray Wyatt God rest his soul. I never saw Bray Wyatt outside of character until after he passed, and then people would post this stuff,
Yeah.
And so you got certain characters like the Taker, like Undertaker. You didn't see Mark Calloway until after he,
I agree. Because you see him now, you wouldn't even realize that was the Taker at any point because he doesn't act anything like Undertaker anymore. So
let me tell you what our dumbasses did. Let me tell you, you tell me. So one year we went to WrestleMania. We went to WrestleMania 30, and
that was New Orleans,
we were in
wasn't
line. Huh?
That was New Orleans, wasn't it?
It was New Orleans.
I thought so. Okay.
And that was the year his streak lost. He lost his streak.
Oh, so you was in the house that night, huh?
I was there when he lost the streak. What else big happened? That was
the biggest thing.
A couple of days before the Ultimate Warrior passed, so we got to see the Ultimate Warrior live.
His crazy lazy ass.
We're not gonna talk speak ill of the dead, sir.
Well, see, look, let me say this about this, because I feel you on the dead part, but still, I'm just critiquing the live version, not dead version of it.
I hear you. You know what? I was gonna ask you some questions about some things, but that just made me want to ask you, what do you think about old Hulk Hogan?
Okay, well, the whole thing that happened with Netflix and the whole nine. So I did. Nate told me, other daughter, she told me, go look at the video of taking them podcasts when they were talking about it. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, so I laugh too. It's because it's self-inflicting, and it's what it is basically he's an asshole. He's always been an asshole, but the WWE and wrestling has basically cloaked his shit. And what happened was when he stopped being popular, they stopped protecting him, and you see who the real man is. And basically, Undertaker said without saying it, he's just not a nice person.
Yeah, Seth just recently did an interview, and he was like, "You get what you get." He was like, "It was Hulk." He said Hulk Hogan is the reason that got me into wrestling, like growing up watching Hogan. But he was like, basically, was like what you just said. A lot of the stuff he deal with is self-inflicting that he don't quite understand. He don't get it, and he won't take accountability for it. And he thinks he can just because what you just said, he's been cloaked for so long.
He just gonna come out with his little get up and people ain't gonna say nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions of opinions that you might have.
Go shoot, I'm with it.
Okay, so who do you think to go down as the greatest faction of all time?
Greatest faction. Okay, so we got it. Faction or tag team?
I'm talking faction. I'm talking about Four Horsemen. I'm talking about
DX.
I'm talking about.
All right, I was gonna tell you. So for me, Evolution don't even make the clip, but that's only because I wasn't watching during that era. I'll be honest, I wasn't. Four Horsemen is gonna be in there. Of course, DX is going to be in there. I'm a little bit biased, but I'm gonna put the Nation of Domination in there for me. That's just me. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. But then I got to think about the Freebirds from the '80s.
Wait a minute! Don't forget the Bloodline.
Well, the Bloodline, yeah, but hell, they're so new. You go back in your head, you forget that they had one. Shoot, I don't know, but see, the Bloodline problem for me is that they needed that fifth person, and I didn't want it to be Sami Zayn. I thought they could have did something, but I get the storyline. I get it. It was entertaining. The whole night. I'm not saying that. I came in on it, but I just say,
tell you.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you, the Bloodline would have done just fine without Sami Zayn.
Yes.
But that being said, he added a level that just elevated it, to me.
I agree. But you do know why I say that, because to me, could you have imagined Jimmy and Jay, Roman, you may not have to like Solo, but I don't mind Solo, and then if they had Jacob as the fifth person. Now that would have been smoking hot for them.
Sure.
See, that's why I'm saying it for. And then could you imagine when the Bloodline had broke up and Roman was such a dick about it, if it was Jacob that they wanted to push him against? Oh man, that would have been amazing. Amazing.
Well, I think they and this man is a beast. Oh,
he is amazing. I love him.
Yeah, let me tell you something. He's that one in a generation talent. Like
he's rock.
I know they're building up Roman to be this generation's big guy or big name, but if he play his cards right and the stars align and they push him the way they need be, he could get as popular to me as The Rock because he seems so genuine.
That's what I said. I agree with you. I think that he came in so authentic. And see, everybody remembers the Rocky Maivia days. I do too, and I don't consider those days. I consider that's Vince's creation. But when he became The Rock, and The Rock talks about it, I've heard him many a times talks about how he begged Vince to let him have a stab at it. So basically, what you got is The Rock's interpretation of what he wanted to put out. If you give Jacob that, and if Jacob can do the same thing, you're right. I totally agree. This man, when he ends in the ring, it looks so authentic. It looks so real.
And see, with Solo, they tried to create.
Yeah, and it didn't work.
Jacob is authentically is, and you see the switch, right? You see the switch coming, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they ready to push him over.
Oh no, we got to put Jacob the head of this.
I'm with it.
Solo did okay, but.
Yeah, I agree. But see, that's another thing. Back to your original point when it comes to Cody, because this is what I always said. We already knew Jay was going to go against Gunther probably a month ahead of time if he won the Rumble. So with Cody hasn't had an opponent because they didn't do anything for a whole year with Cody. And when I was looking at what they were starting to do, I saw it. I said they're ready to push John Cena. It's like a thank you to John Cena. I understand it. I just don't agree with it, but I understand it. But this whole, I think it's what they did with wrestling is starting to rear its head. Let me back up for a second. Remember when in basketball, you married to a man who loves basketball. Remember when college basketball, everybody started being one and done. Everybody wanted the one and done player coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So what ended up happening was, I said it back then. I said some of these institutions like Carolina, Duke, UCLA, they're gonna suffer if they can't get those one and done players. And I thought it was going to be Duke, but it ended up being Carolina that couldn't get the one and done players anymore. And you could start seeing how it was affecting the college program. I'm only saying it to say this, is that, damn, what is my point? Shit, I had a point.
We forgetting.
No, hold on, because I had a point that I was going to say from that, because it was a point.
Okay.
Damn, what was we talking about right before that? Shit, I totally lost my point.
We were talking about.
What was we say? Because I had a point I was going to make there. Yeah, that's old head. I can't remember where I'm going with it at all. But what did you originally ask me? And I'll get back to that point and may spark it again because I can't remember it all.
Yeah.
Brain fog.
Who you consider the best faction of all, the GOAT?
Okay, the best. But if you had to twist my arm without me sitting back and thinking about it, and since you asked me in the moment, my heart wants to go with DX just because they were so entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Out the gate. And then Shawn Michaels is one of my top 5 always. So it's very hard for me. And see, for me, it isn't Triple H and just Shawn Michaels. It was the Road Dogg and it was the Outlaws as well. That's what I remember the best time. So I don't remember Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. That's not DX. DX was the Outlaws, and Shawn Michaels and Triple H in China. That's the original, DX to me.
I remember when Shawn went out injured and they didn't know if he was going to make it back. And I was like, dang. And then I saw that he brought out, like, that next Monday on Raw, he brought out Road Dogg and Billy Gunn and X-Pac. And I was like, it's just not the same. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
And, you don't want to see nothing new, right? You want that old thing. And then, of course, they killed it and they just elevated DX. So let me tell you my opinion.
Go ahead.
Now, I only started watching in the 80s. I'm aging myself, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Mm-hmm. I have only been watching to the 80s. And from 80s on, I feel like every faction, the blueprint was the Four Horsemen.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I agree.
Of course, they added on and they put their own little twist on it. But the foundation, the bones of a real live wrestling faction started with the Four Horsemen.
I agree. They are the originals. I agree.
Yeah, and I mean there were man, they individually, like I say this all the time. I was always on the surface level fan. I wanted to hear Dusty Rhodes talk, and I wanted to hear
Ric Flair
talk.
Your age. Oh God,
right? And I wanted to, and I like to see them come out to their music and all that. But I actually fell in love with the art of wrestling watching Arn Anderson in the ring. And
okay, I felt that way about Bret Hart. If you really wanted to say someone who would just technically could get in the ring and he just did everything and it looked real, it was Bret Hart for me. Even though I was never the biggest fan.
It was Arn Anderson for me. So
okay, since you said that, I got a question. Since you said that, who is your favorite version of the Four Horsemen?
Oh, it was Flair, Arn Anderson. Telly Blanchard, and old Anderson's racist ass. But that's only because that's how I was introduced to them.
But yeah, that ain't my favorite though. That's not my favorite Four Horsemen though. So it was Telly Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, and Lex Luger. Either that one or the one with Barry Windham. One of those are my favorite Four Horsemen.
You know what? It might be the one with Luger because he kind of replaced Ole Anderson.
He
right?
did. He replaced him. If I remember correctly, they said something about the wrestling fired him because he didn't show up for a show or something. And this is years ago. And they replaced him with Lex Luger.
Let me tell you. Oh, they said he was just a straight up overt racist. Like
I didn't know that.
Watch some shoots with Teddy Long.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know Teddy Long talked about Ric Flair. I know he said that. I know Teddy Long talked about Ric Flair.
He had his own promotion. Yeah. No, not Ric Flair. Ole Anderson.
No, I'm saying I've heard Teddy Long say that some things about Ric Flair before. Ric Flair had to say to him, let me say that.
Yeah.
Because believe me, I knew those guys. But when you're talking about the 80s, and this is why when we talk about race and wrestling, I tell you, it's so heavy because now when you start peeling back the layers, you see all of the shit that comes from the 80s. Now, like I know, those guys are still around. So what do you expect the environment to be like there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's more, of course, it's more covert now. And I think that they never looked at our demographic as a big demographic to consider, and I think that's changed. Hell, I said WrestleMania 40 was the blackest.
It was. But see, what I always tried to get to, remember I said this to you one time before. See, people have to understand too, whenever white people are in trouble with something, they lean on us. And see, you got to remember, Vince, that's coming off the back of Vince being fired and the company going through a change. They needed that audience and they used us, I feel like, to get us popping. And I do feel like they always use us that way.
Well, I mean, they're going to use whatever sells.
Yeah, so, and we always sell. So that's what I'm saying.
They didn't think it could sell at first. Now they see it could sell. And
so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, because I know I ain't got you, but for so much longer. So let me ask you, what do you think of the Hurt Syndicate and what they're doing on the other side?
Let me tell you something. I feel so bad because I just cannot, for whatever reason, get into the AEW product. And I said I need to go support the Hurt business. And I want to, and I need to. I've only seen a few clips, but it looks like that they're getting the opportunity to do the things that they weren't allowed to do in the WWE. So yes. I'm glad that they got that, you know.
It's just to me, it's unfortunate because what it is, WWE has such a monopoly on the nostalgia of wrestling. See, that's the problem.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and see, WCW, one thing that WCW did smart with Ted Turner, he did smart. Ted got current stars. He didn't get old people. He got current stars to cross over. And see, what AEW did is AEW got WWE's castaways. And so that's what I feel like they're running into.
The few times I've watched it, it just feels like there's no rhyme or reason. Yeah. You can literally have a guy on there and then he'll disappear for 6 months. Yeah. No explanation. They don't invest in storylines.
See,
to me,
can I say something to you? Because I was going to tell me and Despo, my daughter, we talk about this all the time. And I always tell her what's killing wrestling. See, you could rival WWE, but what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to put white people's biases aside and just do it. And what I mean is, everyone knows hip hop is the number one music. Everyone knows, Mike, you've seen it. What's that Wale thing he does right before WrestleMania every year? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Who? Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
So why does everybody show out for that? Because everybody wants to be involved in it. See, a wrestling organization needs to basically capitalize on young urban America. If you did that and pushed real people who are just talented, you'll kill the WWE. Because the WWE is going to always try to push their own white brand every time. That's what I would do.
So you're saying AEW should invest more in the
niggas,
hip hop culture?
Yes, they should. Instead of doing this, because when you look at their people are not entertaining. Like you went and got what's his name? What's his name used to be part of the Shield. Don't have a problem with Dean Ambrose. Don't have an issue with him, but he's getting older. I know Daniel Bryan, he's old now. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see Edge anymore. I don't want to see any of those people. I want to see fresh and new, but I want to see it in a way that's entertaining.
You know what the problem is? You need both. Because one thing about a wrestling fan, you usually become a wrestling fan when you're younger and then you get older. Mm-hmm. And part of you wants to see something new and fresh, but part of you wants to see some nostalgia. I don't think they do a good enough job of doing a mixture. I think the WWE does an amazing job, especially under Triple H, to give you just enough nostalgia, but also you're developing new talent. It got to be both. You can't just invest all like established talent and not really and build up new talent.
I agree.
And you can't just have new talent because people not really investing in them yet. You got to have a mixture.
You got to basically pull them up. But see, this is wrestling's problem is always going to be their problem. Wrestling's problem is always going to be its problem until they stop trying to hand select people. If the fans pick them, let them get picked. You don't need to control that. The bottom dollar should be the thing, but I also know how white supremacy works. That's not, money isn't the number one goal. It's about control and power. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. And I think the insecurities of white men is that we elevate black guys who should be stars, it's going to diminish us. I believe that's what it is.
Well, I don't know, but I do know that.
Because nobody wants to see Drew McIntyre.
What about Drew?
Don't nobody want to see Drew McIntyre. Don't want to see him and Seth Rollins. I get it. CM Punk, but he looks like somebody's daddy now.
I do. I want to see. I want to see Seth Rollins, and I want to see Trick Williams. I want to see
Trick. Yes, I want to see Trick.
I want to see, Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. But it's nice to see Trish pop up every now and again.
Yeah.
I want to see it all. And they got 3 hours. They got 3 different shows plus the pay-per-views. So they got the time to do it. So
I agree.
I just think AEW really needs, it's like they need, I don't know if they have it, but they need a creative team.
Well, it sounds like they don't have the great creative team. I totally agree with that. It sounds like to me it's the same old school nostalgia. I want to push the way. I want to be Vince McMahon Jr. and versus let's try something different and new. Hey, I know you say you got much time. So let me say this to you. I want to set you up for next week. I did have a show that I was going to talk about today, but we can wait till next week. I know you got to run.
Okay.
Next week, I'm with you. I've been looking at a lot of the playback. We've been very heavy, and I didn't expect it to be heavy every time. So the topic for Monday, if you're going to be here, because I'm looking at the list right now on my screen, it's the greatest black actors in film. So they did this article recently. Rankers.com did an article, and I'm just going to give you the top 10 who they gave top 10. And I know you're not going to agree with half this list, and I don't either. Some of it you will, but you're not going to like their positions. But this is what they gave you. Number 10, Jamie Foxx. Number 9, Eddie Murphy. Number 8, Danny Glover. Number 7, James Earl Jones. Number 6, Forrest Whitaker. Number 5, I vehemently shouldn't even be in the fucking list, but it's just my personal conjecture, Chadwick Boseman. Number 4, yes, I said that. Number 4, Lawrence Fishburne. Number 3, Samuel Jackson. Number 2, Morgan Freeman. And number 1 is Mr. Washington, Denzel. So it's a good list. I'm not saying that. It's just I wouldn't have it in that order, and I wouldn't have everybody in the list that's in that list.
I'm so speechless right now.
What?
Why do we always you don't think Chadwick Boseman should be in that list?
Love him.
Oh, I'm so glad you gave me a heads up.
Oh, yes, please. I want you to put your list together. I'm going to put my list together. We're going to discuss it, okay?
Okay.
But Chadwick, damn sure. I'm going to...
I'll say this, because I know we're going to talk about it Monday.
Okay.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with his positioning in the top 10. I get it,
but you don't mind being him in the list.
I absolutely think he needed to be in the top 10.
You know, so buddy. This brother here doesn't have one memorable role yet that I've seen. That's just my personal... But Chadwick, because hell, the biggest role he had was Black Panther, and I like Michael B. Jordan in that better than I liked him.
You don't know his body of work. Make sure you research his body of work.
I do know his body of work.
His body of work.
I know his body of work
before Monday. Now
I'm gonna go back and look at it again because I don't know I must be missing something, but I don't know. But anyways, I digress. I ain't gonna hold you
that
up.
Man, he's like Samuel Jackson. Nobody do it better than Samuel Jackson.
Well, let me do this.
He embodies his roles physically and okay.
We'll
talk about it on Monday.
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say this to you, and I'll leave it out to the people watching. I want you guys, when you're watching this list we putting together, I actually gonna put a poll together because I want to prove you wrong. Because I'm gonna tell you this before you go. One of Instagram followers, I was talking to her yesterday, and she was letting me know that she was basically watching the podcast we did about Jamal Bryant. And she actually agreed with some of your talking points. And I was telling her she can't never talk to me no more because ain't nothing you said on there right. But but I'll hold you to my.
Good sense. That woman know.
Anyways, but yes, I'll see you on Monday. All right.
Okay.
All right, Don. Talk to you later.
Okay.
All right, peace.
Bye.
All right, guys. So let's.
It's time.
Shit. Trying to get crazy. Let's turn my Mac and music back on. All right. So, yeah, that was it. That was the chill report from today. That was Miss Love. I vehemently disagree. I know that went in a totally different direction than where we've normally been going. And then, too, for my female audience, I'm sorry. She's a big wrestling fan, and I'm a wrestling fan, so you're going to get those conversations from time to time, all right? But we're going to take a small commercial break. I'm going to run some commercials real quick, take a bathroom break, come right back, and we're going to either dive into something else, close out, we'll see. But give me a few, and I'll hit you right back.
I tested 300 Radio to see if it lives up to the hype. Let me tell you, it's the real deal. Daily live streams, quality content, all celebrating Black American culture. Whether you're on iPhone or Android, 300 Radio keeps you connected to our community. It's more than just music, it's a movement. Join us and experience the power of 300 Radio today.
You know that feeling when you turn on the TV or radio and it's like nobody sounds like you? Yeah, it's frustrating, but things are changing. More Black voices are breaking through, telling our stories our way. It's not just about being seen, it's about being heard, and it matters. When we control the narrative, we shape how the world sees us. We're not just characters in someone else's story anymore. We're the storytellers, the hosts, the producers, and it's making waves. Places like 300 Radio are giving us the mic, letting us speak our truth. So next time you're looking for fresh content that actually gets you, give Black-led media a listen. Trust me, you won't regret it.
Hey, debate enthusiasts, get ready for a mind-blowing new series presented by 300 Radio that's about to shake up your feed. Agree to Disagree is here, and it's not your average debate show. We're diving deep into the hottest topics, bringing you passionate voices with opposing views. But here's the twist. It's all about empowering the Black American community through intellectual discourse. No holds barred, no topic off limits. From lifestyle choices to societal issues, we're tackling it all. And the best part, it's not about winning, it's about understanding. So whether you're nodding in agreement or shaking your head in disbelief, you're in for a wild ride. Tune in, speak up, and let's elevate the conversation together. Remember, if we can't agree, we can at least agree to disagree.
So you hit that go live button and boom, you're streaming. Seems easy, right? There's a whole circus going on behind the scenes. We've got a tech wizard juggling multiple cameras, a sound guru making sure you can actually hear us, and someone frantically typing in the chat. It's organized chaos at its finest. And don't even get me started on when the internet decides to throw a tantrum. But you know what? When it all comes together, it's pure magic. We're bringing you content in real time, reacting to your comments, and creating a shared experience. It's not just a broadcast, it's a conversation. Curious to see more? Check out 300 Radio and join us for the next stream. It's way more fun on this side of the screen.
Let's get into it.
Keep us locked on your radio dial. Keep it locked.
What's up, y'all? This is Beyonce, and you listening to my station.
This is 300 Radio.
Scott Free is going live.
Let's go.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, we are back. I just want to say again, it's Free Friday to everyone watching. Want to say shout out to Miss Levy again for coming on to the show. It was actually entertaining. Wrestling's coming tomorrow. I didn't even know tomorrow was a wrestling event, so I'm gonna have to make sure I'm prepared for that. But anyways, I had a totally different direction I was going in until I spoke with her today. Basically, what I was gonna dive into was the conversation, like I said, about the top 10 black male actors of all time, which I totally disagree with the order of this list. Some of the people I don't mind on the list, but I'll hold my opinions until next week because I don't want to give it away because I know she's gonna listen to the feedback. But and then she's gonna try to steal some of my people, so we don't need that. But now I just wanted to do a little housekeeping before we do that. So this week, let's do a recap of what happened. This week we had a couple of decent episodes. Because what I'm in the process, let me back it up. What I'm in the process of doing right now is I'm still in the process of setting up the platform, 300radio.com. If you're not listening on there now, you need to. But the people who are listening on there, especially the ones that's in the private chat, we're going to be coming with more videos, things like that. See what it is? We've been having a lot of streaming issues. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. So I'm trying to work that all out so we can get that straight. That way we can play the videos like we want to properly. We can't play them on Instagram and YouTube and all the other places, but we can play those on the website, so you will be getting those. Next week, you will be getting a portion, on the website, you'll be getting a full schedule of all the shows that's going to air next week. Some will be live, some won't be live. So definitely be on the lookout for that. We're going to move forward, okay? But if y'all wanted to, since we are running out of time, we're getting close to the end of the show. Let me take a quick break. Let me look at something real quick because I may not even end the stream. I may actually keep going, but give me 2 seconds.
We've got old school.
Old school.
And we've got new school.
Always plays the new music first right here.
It's 300 Radio.
Okay, no, I can't do it. What I was going to do is I was trying to get it set up to where we could see. I wanted to do a reaction video to this video I saw. From it's a guy named Anton Daniels, I think it is, and what's the other? Yada. It's a guy named Yada. They basically had an argument about women. Matter of fact, let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you real quick. Matter of fact, let me get her off the screen. Shoot, so let's get her off the screen. Yeah, get your ass off the screen. Let's see if we can get you off the screen. Hold on a second, guys. All right, so this is what I'm talking about.
I'm going to start this one here with you, Yada, yes, because we popped off with Anton last time. Should men be open to dating women with children?
Yeah, this right here.
He know better. He know this about to go so bad.
No. Can I be truthful?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can I be truthful, please, brother?
This round you can't be there. Last round it was a little rough.
Okay. I don't believe, personally, that we should put our women in boxes. If a woman has a child or doesn't have a child, a good woman. 1 second,
guys.
Woman.
I'm trying to.
My wife had a child prior to me, and I love this child. This child loves me, but the child also knows that I'm not her father, but I play a role as a father figure in her life.
Hold on, guys. I'm trying to get the shit set up. So let me get it set up for Instagram because you can see it on website, you can see it on YouTube right now, but you can't see it on Instagram. So let me get you set up for that because I want to make sure you guys can see it. All right, so give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Matter of fact, let me play another commercial break real quick. Just really, really quick. Because if you guys want to do this reaction, we're going to do it. So let me do this really, really quick. But I'm going to set you guys. I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds.
Let's get into it.
Keep us locked on your radio dial.
Keep it locked.
What's up, y'all? This is Beyonce, and you listening to my station.
This is 300 Radio.
gonna start this one here with you.
All right, so we're
Yada,
gonna start it over, but
because
I'm gonna
we
let it
popped off
run.
with Anton last time.
Hold on a
Should
second.
men be open
Hold on.
to dating women with children?
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this play for the people on Instagram who can't hear it right now. Who can't see it, but you can hear it. Just keep watching. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the video over. Just keep watching,
this one here with you,
and then I'll come
Yada,
in a minute
because
with
we
the
popped
feed.
off with Anton last time. Should men be open to dating women with children?
He know better. He know this about to go so bad.
No. Can I be truthful?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can I be truthful, please, brother?
This round you can't be there. Last round it was a little rough for you.
Okay.
Oh no, you didn't, did it?
I don't believe, personally, that we should put our women in boxes. If a woman has a child or doesn't have a child, a good woman is a good woman.
Do you guys agree with that?
Had a child prior to me. And I love this child loves me, but the child also knows that I'm not her father, but I play a role as a father figure in her life. She's probably watching right now, and if you're watching right now, baby girl, I love you and I'm thankful for you.
All right, so we good. Oh shit, we good to go now. We're set up. We're ready to watch it now. Let's do a reaction to this video and see if we get anything good out of it. Let's go.
Guide and protect. When a man's able to walk with the attributes of the Most High God, it doesn't matter if the woman is single or not, because if a man can lead, he can lead. It doesn't matter if the woman has 3 children, 2 children, 1 child, no child. If the man can lead, he can lead. I believe.
Okay, do I agree or disagree with Yada? My viewpoint on it is this. Do I think that women with children are used goods? Hell no, that's stupid. What it is that she's gonna actually have some deficiencies, just like men. I'd say anyone in life. Can a beautiful, beautiful woman with a fat ass and nice thighs and huge titties and a great personality, is she gonna, with long, natural hair and no makeup, she's gorgeous, is she gonna find a man? Hell yeah. Could she pretty much damn near pick any man she wants? Hell yeah. But if you chop off one of her hands, a lot of men still gonna choose, but not everybody's gonna choose. This is how I look at women with children. I'm not saying that they are damaged to the point to where I would not date them, but I can't say that I would probably choose one out the gate over women who doesn't have children, if that makes sense.
My opinion in my heart, that when a man is...
But again, especially when it comes to black women, I have no issues with women with children.
Is truly invested into God and into bettering himself, God's going to send him an aid regardless if the aid has a child or no child. I don't think we should keep telling women, oh, your value is lowered because you have children. That makes no sense. Now, brothers, I believe that if you're unable to even deal with your own personal emotions, I think you should stay alone and by yourself, or get with a woman that has nothing else going on. Y'all can probably grow together. But when you're coming into a woman's life that has a child, you have to be able to lead. You have to be able to father. You have to be able to teach. And you have to be able to love unconditionally, because I love my wife's child as if she's my own flesh and blood. So I don't believe, personally, that we should put a woman in the box because a man might overlook a divine asset sent to him by God just because she has a child. I don't.
I look at what he said, and I hate to pause it right there, but I look at what he says. He's telling the truth. I don't think that we should devalue the sisters of our community in any form of fashion whatsoever. But I'm also saying we have to be realistic too. If you went out to get a meal, everybody's ate McDonald's. But if you ate at Capitol Grill before, you know Capitol Grill food is way better. Now, is it more expensive? Yes. But the person who can afford it, he's not going to go to McDonald's if he can afford Capitol Grill. So that's the same thing we do when we're looking at women with children. We can't say that they have no value and no one wants to date them at all, because McDonald's gets eaten every day, if that makes sense.
I agree to that. And that's like me telling a woman, overlook this man because he has children. No, I believe an asset is an asset. A woman that has a child isn't a liability. And if she's coming into your life to help you maneuver into becoming your greatest version, because a woman can help a man become greater emotionally and mentally, she adds on to the man. And if the child is there, this man, especially if he doesn't have children, he can learn how to father through this. So ladies, please hear me. Your value is not dropped because you have children. Men, please hear me. Your value is not dropped because you have children. Some of you, or some of us, me included, weren't taught how to properly wait until marriage to have children. So I'm speaking to the brothers that's trying to figure it out by themselves. I'm speaking to the women that's trying to figure out by themselves. Love yourself. And never lower your value, regardless if you had children or not. Excuse me.
There you have it.
We 100% disagree on this one.
Okay.
The previous two, we had some overlap and we had some agreements. This one, we don't. I like to get to the core root of the problem. And I think that what we do as a culture and as a society is we enable bad behavior by
Fair use too, guys. Fair use, fair use, fair use. So let me say that too before I play the video again. Continue to do it. This is fair use, fair use, fair use. And matter of fact, we are 4 minutes and 8 seconds into it. I'm gonna play the fair use. I keep forgetting this, guys, but if they don't, they're gonna pull my joint down. So let me play my fair use thing real quick, and I'll come right back.
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
I'm gonna start this one here.
All right, so there you go again. But let me get back to the video where we were at. So let's get back to where we were at.
Should men be
shit.
in the best interest?
4 minutes and 8 seconds into the video. I just wanted to make sure, guys, we did that so we can do some.
I like to get to the core root of the problem.
Get some homework.
And I think that what we do as a culture and as a society is we enable bad behavior by saying that it's okay. And it's not. It's not. The person that you have children with, the person that you have sex with, that's your husband, that's your wife. Before any of these Western modern laws that then incentivize people to get married, the person that you opened up your legs to was your husband. And so we have too many broken homes, and we're trying to puzzle this thing and Tetris it together to justify that it makes sense. Now, is there circumstances, because I'm never going to speak on somebody else's situation. I speak in general. I don't know him. I would never speak on his children or his wife. That has nothing to do with me
appreciate
whatsoever,
that, brother.
right? So I have the utmost respect for him and his family.
Thank you.
So I'm just speaking in general, all right? So I want to make sure that I preface that because I don't want there to be any attacks, right?
Understood.
But my point is that we need to get back to the core and the root, because if you removed the safety net, people would be more accountable for the things that they did and who they opened up their legs to. Right now, more than ever, there's a pandemic, an epidemic of women celebrating women having children out of wedlock. And we know that statistically speaking, that is a bad situation. You are more likely to end up in jail. You're more likely to join a gang. You're more likely to need therapy. You're less likely to be successful when it comes to future relationships. You're less likely to become a millionaire and earn as much. You're more likely to have debt as a result of student loan debt and things and so on and so forth. And so if we gonna solve for this problem as a culture, we have to remove the incentives for people to think that it's okay to have families outside of the covenant that God has ordained for us to have. Now, do circumstances happen? Absolutely. But it absolutely does not. That is not the majority. Most people are intentional. And let me address something else that he said. By the time that we are able to bust one, we know what's right and wrong. You know that you should not be having children out of wedlock. This is not something that we have to discover. At a very basic level, we know better. And that's why I can speak to men when I say the majority of men, especially black men, do not have children out of wedlock. That is a small minority of men that is populating the majority of these.
I think what he's contributing that to, they said something about 80% of the women. How'd it go? Let me look it up so I'll tape. Keep going.
Women, and we don't really want to hold them accountable because we know that women are the biggest consumers. And so again, I'm not here to make people feel.
So the statistic is 80% of Black American women are having children with 20% of the men. So that's the statistic I think he's trying to put out there. But again, I'm gonna give you my conjecture in a minute.
Good, I'm here to tell them the truth. No, I do not think that a man needs to practice becoming a father to a child that's not his and trying to figure it out to negotiate and work with another man that wants to probably at some point participate in this child's life because it is a zero-sum game. And I know so many people that regret the day that they ever decided to get into a relationship with a woman.
Hey, Jasmine, in the chat room over here on the website, Jasmine, I agree with you. I've never seen Yada this quiet before in my life. Go ahead.
That then ultimately should have went back to her child's father. Go back to your child's father and work it out. Because that's the person that you created the covenant with. That's the person that you married according to God's law. Go fix it. That's what you need to do.
Now, what if a woman is saying that this man is just absolutely egregious? That's just somebody I was.
Okay, before he dives into that, because he's ready to go into that topic. Okay, I think both brothers have very good points. Yada, so let's cover what he said. Yada basically says no woman loses value. That you basically, if a woman has children, she made some mistakes. We've all done it in the past. I totally agree with that. I cannot tell people at my ripe old age that you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, or I'm going to discard you completely. Like my shit don't stink. Everybody's done something they have no business doing. So I totally agree with that. But I also agree with the other brother, Anton, the Baldy brother. I agree with him as well, saying that we can't keep condoning the behavior or championing the behavior because people are going to always step out and keep doing the same thing. So I totally agree, but let's see where he goes from here.
It's not even something that I can repair, go back to.
It's not about
how do you give that woman
It's not about
advice?
her. It's about the child. Everything that you do at that point to bring somebody into this world that didn't ask to be here is what's best for the child.
I agree.
You remove yourself. You got to put down with self and up with.
And you know what's so sad for everybody watching? Because I keep saying I agree. I don't even like this brother with the boy. I totally disagree with him all the time. And it's just funny, on this subject would be the time that I'm sitting there agreeing with what he says. But a broken clock is right twice a day.
God, what is in the best interest of that child? Is it in the best interest of that child for you to be raising that child in a two-parent household with the father? And if so, why didn't you think about that before you opened up your legs to him? Because we got over 100 different forms of contraception. It's not about how you feel. It's about.
Okay, but I think that's also being a little disingenuous from Anton, too. All right, we all have been at 16. Everybody knows in the Black community that from the ages of and this is healthy, I ain't gonna say healthy, unhealthy age for a woman to get pregnant, kind of can tell you how fucked up how her living condition is based upon the age that she gets pregnant sometimes. So a girl is getting pregnant from the age of 12, 13, 14, 15. She comes from, excuse me, she comes from a very toxic household a lot of the time. And then the person who has a child 16, 17, 18, 19, especially 17, 18, 19, she comes from that normal household, but she fucked up. She really did fuck up. But a lot of our Black households, a lot of the girls in our families did this. But I also don't think that should be indicative of their entire existence. See, what he's doing is, Anton is basically saying you use goods. You ain't no more good to anybody else after that. And then he's also acting like at that same age that we do not all make stupid decisions on purpose. I did them. You did them. Every time you stepped out and did something stupid, and now you think back on it, you say, I don't know what I was thinking. I honestly don't know some of the things. I'll tell you a quick story real quick. Oh, should I tell this? Shit, if I tell this. Okay, anyways, I was working a job one time. And this without aging myself or incriminating myself. I was working a job one time to where fast food, young guy, I think I was still a teenager at the time, I can't remember. And but I was broke. So what I was gonna do, I was gonna rob the night manager at the job when they go to drop the money off at the bank. So I done went out, I done got a ski mask, changed some clothes I ain't never worn before. Didn't have a gun at all. I got a big ass knife that I done picked out. So I go and I hide in the woods that's right here by where they're gonna drop it off at the bank. Problem is, this night, she didn't, and see what happened, generally what happened, the night manager who would take the money and drop it off would also take a person with them. This night, she didn't take anybody with them. She called the cops. She didn't have anybody. So now she rolls up. I'm in the bushes ready to, I'm not going to attack. I know this lady. I'm not going to do nothing to her. I just wanted to give me the bag. I was broke. Stupid as hell. knowing if I get caught, I'm throwing rocks at the penitentiary. Well, she rolls over with the police that day. Needless to say, I didn't do shit. I didn't move, didn't get up, didn't all. She dropped that money in the bank. They left. I left. I said, I'm not doing no shit like this. Now, that could have went a totally different way. I would have made a totally different decision. I would have never produced anything that I produced in this world outside of that. And I just don't think we should judge each other based upon those bad decisions. I think it's really disingenuous to act like children don't make really bad decisions at times. And that's just what I'm saying to him. But he is correct, though. We should not condone bad behavior in our community. These traditions are killing us.
About the child. I do the thing that's in the best interest of my child, not me. I put myself last. But I also understand that the things that I do in my greatness, she's the beneficiary of it. And I would never, ever, under any circumstance, let another man raise my child.
And that's beautiful. What he's saying is beautiful. And he's coming from a place of being raised by mother and father. But you have so many women that never seen their father. They've never known that a woman should get married before they have children.
They did know.
Hold on, bro. Let me speak. Because majority of young girls.
And see, Anton's correct, but he's wrong again. And before y'all to get into it, yes, we all know right from wrong. But you are heavily influenced by the people that come before you. What do I mean when I say that? I said it in the previous podcast that we did. We act like children in the projects are not doing better just because they are ignorant and don't want to, or they just something wrong with them. No, they are only going to produce themselves, majority of us, not the exception, but the rule. The rule means majority of us are going to do exactly what we see the people before us doing. So if you are coming from a single mother household or a single father household and you don't see a proper marriage, if your grandmother is still alive but your grandfather's not, or if they're not together or never been together, you're not, what we're expecting that child to do is now see what they see on TV, look at the right from wrong, and then make the best decision. That's just not how the world works. If we're honest with ourselves, that's not how it works. You know that.
Girls are they're starting to lose their virginities at very young ages as children, looking to replace that feeling of not having a father. They just want to feel some form of masculine love. So if this child made a mistake at 15 or made a mistake at 16 by sleeping with the wrong man that promised her the world, oh, baby, I love you. Oh, baby, I'm thankful for you. Oh, baby, I'll never leave you. And she got into this woman's head because, like you said, fathers should know and teach their daughters right for wrong. You do agree, correct? Mm-hmm. So if the father isn't there and she's running behind a masculine energy and this man is saying, I love you, I'll never leave you, I'll never cheat on you, and she falls in love with this man now saying, I want your body. If you love me, let me get your.
I hate to keep pausing, but let me just say this real quick. Yada's correct again here, because basically all that he's saying is that, well, I would say this way. Anton, look at it this way. You are watching and you're viewing the world through your conception. Let me say it this way. You're looking at the world in your viewpoint, from your standard, the way you view the world. But see, that's a disingenuous. You can't do that, especially when they come from a whole new species. A woman is a different species than a man. So the way that our logic and reasoning thinks, hers is basically built off emotion. I know you know that. Women are emotional creatures, so they're going to make emotional decisions. That's why, in your opinion, you would say men lead, women don't, which I agree, just for that aspect, the emotional aspect. He's right, Yada. She's emotionally getting triggered by the guy that's saying all the sweet nothings to her. She does not have a mother or a father around that knows and has the guidance to tell her what is right from wrong, and this person just blowing smoke up her ass. So she's going to fall for it over and over and over again. We've watched it throughout the beginning, we've watched it throughout time, is what I'm trying to say.
Body. She doesn't know right from wrong because she didn't see no man growing up. Now she gives this man
that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Now a child is born. That means that this man right here that doesn't have any children should not get with her?
Absolutely not.
Come on, brother.
Absolutely not.
Come on, brother.
100%.
Come on, brother. Come on, brother.
Listen, at a very early age, I was never going to not have a child.
I think they're having an argument about exceptions and rule. I think Anton is arguing the rule, and I think Yada is talking about the exception. I think what women with children, especially past the age of 35, should understand is that when you say a woman past 35, multiple children, especially like 3 or 4 kids, and she finds a man, and a decent guy at that, she's an exception, not because, no man should choose her. I'm just saying, just ask yourself, would you choose the person with all that baggage versus the person with not? And the only time we choose that person that much baggage, that motherfucker has to be dynamic. And that I don't think that's a female or a male thing. I think same thing goes for the male, in my opinion.
Well, I was never going to have a child out of wedlock. It's just the facts. We was never going to co-parent. I was never going to have another man in my child's life.
And that's beautiful.
And this is the sentiment of most men, especially black men. This is a norm within our culture. Go and look it up. It's data. It's statistics. This is not my opinion. This is a fact. And again, I'm going to go back to the core of what I said in the very first conversation. You can solve for 99% of all men that are doing the wrong thing, and 1% of men can populate the majority of the earth with women that choose to be with this one man. At some point, every single person, including women, have to be accountable for the thing that they did and open up their legs to. And we also know that women are the ones that initiate the majority of the divorces. So they're walking away from their households and becoming single parents by choice. This isn't something that they're being forced to. So when because he's a great salesman, I got to give you that.
Come on, brother.
No, you're phenomenal.
Come on, brother.
You do the whole crying thing.
Come on,
my
brother.
God.
Come on, brother. You're showing sassiness right now. Come on, brother.
No. This is what
you
said.
Come on, we men now, brother.
No, listen.
Come on, we men now.
Oh my God.
Come on now, brother.
I didn't know a man, and so as a result, I was looking for love, and so I had this child. You know what I hear? Excuses. Excuses.
Let me add on something real quick, right?
I have no conjecture to add to that. Let them brothers argue it out. I'll follow in when I have something to say.
You're a great salesman.
This man right here.
I see why you got a great product.
This man, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. This man right here. I don't want to attack Antoine. Let me say
can't.
this. No, hold on.
My life is perfect.
I want to make sure my words is accurate. Let me not try to attack Antoine. Let me say it like that. It's toxic to teach a woman to stay in a home where there's no form of love or safety or security because
family, hold on. Just keep watching. Something happened to my camera. Give me 2 seconds. I'll put it back in. Just keep watching. I can still hear it.
That teaches the woman, the young child, it teaches the young girl that she should grow up and stay in a relationship with a man that's abusive, that attacks her mentally and physically.
Okay, so the Instagram was working, but the other feed went out.
We have to understand the majority of women will not leave a place where she feels safe. She will not leave a place where she feels loved.
Okay, there you
Men keep screaming that women are leaving men or divorcing men in high numbers because these women are no longer happy. They no longer feel safe. They're not being financially provided for. They're taking care of grown men. And I know brothers, right, that are amazing fathers, amazing fathers, and raising their bonus children. These bonus children aren't curses. They're blessings. And any man that's able to lead.
I think the reason why, and we're getting halfway point of this video, I think the reason so far I would have to lean more towards Yada than Anton because of this. And I don't want to say hypocritical is what Anton's doing, but I think this about our culture. See, we have two different groups a lot of the times, but I think we need a third. One group says, look out just for your family. You be the head of your household. You raise your children, your wife, you protect her, that whole nine. That's Anton. Then when you think of Yada, Yada is basically saying, no one is ever too thrown away this and that. And I lean that way because as a culture, we need to start raising as a village. I think we do that to a certain extent now, but I think we need to do better when it comes to that. I don't think it's just about the community. There's a lot of black children out here that needs parents. And pushing the narrative, just like him, I do not condone pushing the narrative that young women should be out here in the streets being loose with that thing. Okay, I don't agree with that. But what I also don't agree with is that we have too many black children out here who do not have mothers and fathers. And so if we start promoting that we don't need to be taking care of other people's children, these children will never, ever find someone that can actually teach them value in this world. And then I would just say to Anton, I don't know if he has daughters or sons or both or a mixture of both, but these are the people that your children have to now come in contact with. These are the people these are their potential dating partners. So don't you want them to be as centered, as well-rounded as your children are? So that's why I said we have to think as a community. And halfway through this video, I'm going to have to lean towards Yada when it comes to that for that very reason. And that's just my opinion.
Another child that's not biologically his, I salute you. Because the average man will not understand that. Again, Antoine was raised in a home with two parents, which is beautiful. Like I can't.
Hey, he's saying that like that's a knock on me.
Hold on. No, I'm saying it's beautiful.
Hey, he
it's
keep
beautiful.
mentioning it like that's something that.
Hold on,
that's what you're supposed to do.
Brother. No, it's beautiful that he was raised in a home with two parents, but a lot of people didn't have the privilege of seeing that. So they're making mistakes, brother. They're making mistakes. She fell in love with the wrong. She fell in love with the wrong man. Whatever happened. But ladies, do not allow this man up here to make you feel like you're not deserving of a man. Or man, if you're in a relationship with a woman that has children, do your thing. I salute you. It takes a real man to be able to step up and be a father when no one else is.
No, it's not about do your thing. It's about going back to the thing that you committed to in the first place. And again, they always keep saying.
You know one thing neither one of them are discussing, and in my opinion, they need to have this discussion. Yes, no woman is trash and should be thrown out, but we also need to start making sure that the quality that I wouldn't even say that. Let's just keep
do
going.
your
I won't
thing.
say that.
I'm surprised you ain't said queen at some point.
Queen?
Do your thing, queen. Do your thing,
So, Anton,
queen.
let me ask you this question.
At some point, you need to hold your parents accountable, right? Because again, we keep hanging this on the hats of men instead of hanging it on the hats of the people that came before you.
I agree with that.
And put you in this position in the first place.
I agree.
So let's remove this whole thing that is on men. It's not. It's not on all men. That's bullcrap.
What's not on all men?
It's not on this whole narrative of what we see in the culture. This is not a black man thing. The majority of men. So stop making up this narrative.
It's actually neither the black male or the black female is the problem here, but we'll get there, hopefully.
Of an abusive household. Was he abusive? Wait. No.
That's what I'm saying.
No, let me finish. This is my question to you. Right. Was he abusive before you opened up your legs to him?
Now can I speak? That's cool with you?
I asked you a question.
That's good. Brother, we have men that are some pro finessers. They will give a woman a representation of themselves. And when they've got their hooks into the woman, they turn into something different. No woman in her right mind is going to be in a relationship with a man that's negative, Nancy, breaking her down mentally, physically, and spiritually, not providing for her financially. No, they get the hooks in her. And then when he feels like he's got her in love and all she knows is him, he turns into something different. All I'm saying to you, brother, this is what I want. No, I need you to hear this. Every woman that has had a child and is not with the man aren't bad people. And every man that had a child and not with the woman is not bad people. We keep saying a man shouldn't be with a woman that has children. Why? Because she have her children, but this man has children and children aren't with them. We have to make sense of this. Why do we keep saying, man, don't be with a woman with children, but we're not saying nothing by the man that's not taking care of his children or there for his children?
I want to actually ask that question right.
That's like a Little Mermaid movie that he just made right there.
Let me ask this real quick because I want to know if you also feel that the way.
Hey, I totally agree with what he just said there. We have to stop. What we have in our culture a lot of times is we have biases. And then a lot of times with the biases, we don't want to accept it from the other side. But this is just biases.
About men as well, because you got a daughter yourself. If you're giving her some instruction, would you pretty much instruct any woman? Is it the same rule that women should also stay away?
I would not tell a woman that don't have children to marry a man with children.
Okay.
I'm not biased.
Well, at least he's consistent
on this. I'm consistent across the board. I don't think that it's in a. Could she possibly marry a good guy? Could a guy possibly marry a good woman? Absolutely.
Okay.
But I would never advise it because I would never tell somebody to do something that I wouldn't do myself.
I get what he's saying. He's basically saying what I'm saying. He's saying that, is it possible? Yes. But is it, like I said this, I had an argument recently with my co-host about why I didn't send my daughters to HBCUs. And it's not because I disrespect or I think HBCUs are not good enough. But if you get accepted to something like an Ivy League, not because I think white people are better, but because I also know the connections that she's going to meet there is going to probably benefit her better financially in the future. And then so then it's my job to teach her blackness, so that way when she gets in the position to help others, she can do so, whether it's at a HBCU or not. But I wouldn't tell her to go to the HBCU, especially if that HBCU is barely holding on. A lot of them are barely holding on, just to keep it real. So I think that is kind of to the point of what Anton is saying, that I won't teach my children to go. I won't tell them, is it possible for them to have a successful marriage? Yes. But would I encourage them to go down that path? No. And I have no disagreements with that myself.
I'm consistent in that. And let me correct them for a minute.
Please.
Nobody said that they were bad people.
Okay.
That's just not your people. Everybody that's a good person is not for you. Everybody that's in a situationship is not supposed to be a part of your network. Every person that's doing something good or well, they don't deserve to necessarily be in your life because your journey is different. And so I never said anybody was a bad person, but I would never advise a man to do something that I wouldn't do myself, and I would never, ever go and talk to a woman that have children with
when
another
you say
man.
they're not
and
your
I believe,
people, what does that mean?
And what I would tell her is to go back with your child's father. And it doesn't mean that she can't have love. If you can finesse a man into doing it, then do so. But I would never advise my guys to do that.
When you say not your people, what does that mean?
It can mean
Damn,
anything.
he said finesse.
It can mean
I
that
don't
we're
agree
not
with
equally yoked. Maybe we don't need to do business together.
Now, I don't think, when a man gets with a woman like that she finessed them. I can't say that. I'll have to see the situation, but that is a really bold blanket statement he just made there.
Maybe we are going in two different directions. Maybe we have two different belief systems. It's a lot of different things that can identify whether or not a person is your person or your people and not.
Okay, so are you telling people they should be in relationships even though it's toxic just
No.
because of the child?
I never said that.
So when should they part ways?
I don't think that they should have got it together in the first place because you know who a
If we're
person.
already there, brother. If we're already there.
I specifically said no. I don't address if we already there.
Right. This
I address.
is what we're talking about. We're talking about adults, right?
I address. Literally, you have to take ownership and responsibility for
Right.
it. I don't believe that people are getting finessed like you painted the picture. I believe because that's to say that women aren't smart. Because how did you get so smart afterwards, but you wasn't smart enough to be able to identify that he was a.
Because a lot of times women got pregnant 17, 18, 19. Now, I don't know about you, but my decision making at 19 was not the fucking best. So I just cannot ride with him on that one.
POS when you got with him. That's literally.
I'll just say this, and like I said, we got about 9 minutes left in this video. I'm gonna let him ride it out, and then we're gonna close the show out. But I'm gonna say this before he do. Anton, you do not know me, brother. You would probably never catch to see this video, but I'm going to tell you, brother, please live by the words that you are preaching right now, because you are leaving no room for error. And from my experience, none of us are this perfect. None of us will step into the street and do everything the way that we're supposed to do it. I'm just going to say, I hope you are living what you are preaching. That's all I'm saying. So Yada gives himself room for error. Yada leaves himself open for just in case shit goes wrong, because we are human. You're coming off very judgmental when you say it this way. So I just want to say that.
Telling y'all that y'all idiots. You're not an idiot. You're not dumb. Most women know who the dude is that they got with and who they chased before they got with him and opened up their legs to him. You know that.
You know the sad part?
That's why they say get married. Marry before you carry. That's why they say that.
So let's, because I get you pretty much talking prevention.
Correct.
Not necessarily in the situation, but I actually want to go to the situation because right now.
See, they're having two different conversations. See, Anton moved the goalpost kind of, because I don't think they ever was talking about prevention, because we can't talk to someone's decision making beforehand. Now, if he wants to have that discussion, he would be looking directly in the camera, saying to the camera, young ladies, do not have kids at all, period. That's where the conversation went in. But he's now also doubling down on it, saying that And then when you do, you're never going to get anybody. Now, I get that, but how can you speak to the people who have currently made the decision? So should those women just pack it up and not ever get a man ever in life? And see, I'm pro-male. I'm a male advocate, but I'm also about well, I ain't even going to say I'm a male advocate. I am a black family advocate. Let's say it that way. That way nobody can ever pin me, hold me into this and it's saying I'm a male advocate. I am a black family advocate in a healthy manner. If you can do it in a healthy manner, I'm all for it. I don't care how I don't even care if it doesn't mirror the traditional family structure. As long as it's healthy, we can make it work. We have to stop in our black community, at least when it comes to dating styles, making this one big ass monolith, especially when it comes to monogamy, when monogamy is less than 200 years old. But I digress.
Now, our culture is facing this situation in large numbers, Anton. So I want to get your consult for the people now in the situation, because we get your stance, not putting us there.
I told you, go back with your child's father.
But here's the thing.
What if the child's father is with someone else now? So did this woman now supposed to never ever date ever again in life? I don't agree with that.
We have identified as well, to Yada's point, that the brother is, at this point, not working on himself, pretty much unqualified at this point to lead and manage a family, may not even have the desire to. Do you still recommend that woman put herself in that position, or should she?
In what position specifically?
To be in a relationship with this type of man, or should she go about parting ways and trying to find, just run it, be a single
Listen,
mom?
I took my vows serious. I don't believe in parting ways. It's death till death do us part in sickness and in health, for richer or for poor.
These are single women, though, by the way.
Well, you said part ways.
Well, again, a woman who got pregnated by a man, they're not married.
That's your husband. That's your husband. What are we talking about? You can't take it back. Ain't no take backs. We in this. It's me and you till we die. We gonna figure it out.
I don't believe I'm hearing this.
No. They asked me the question.
I never believe I'm hearing this.
We gonna figure it out. We gonna work it out. We gonna do it. We gonna make it happen. We gonna take on the world, and we gonna take over the world. It's some things that we gonna have to figure out together. But you just can't leave after you got somebody pregnant. You can't leave after you get pregnant. What you talking about? That's your husband.
Man, listen, hold on.
That's your husband.
Listen to me. Listen to me, ladies.
I will say this, though. I will say, if we did have that part of our culture, damn, I cannot talk today. If that was how our culture ran it, is whether you had sex, that was your husband, oh shit, nobody be fucking.
If you're in a relationship with a man, you're pregnant, or if you have children by this man, and this man is not being a man in your life, leave him. If this man is breaking you down mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, leave him and make sure he gets himself together. And if he can't get himself together to keep you in his life, that's not the man for you.
I agree with Yada.
Leave. I don't care what this brother talking about. That makes.
And the only reason why I say I agree with that is because this is what we cannot do. When you get with someone, imagine the people who got together 18, 19, because we all start fucking young. So if you go by Anton's way of thinking, we started fucking young, that's your husband, that's your wife, period, move the fuck on and grow together. Get that. You don't know who the fuck you are at 19 years old. You don't know who you are at 25 years old. Most men don't start maturing until after 30. So now I'm a big component of don't get married before 30. He ain't preaching that. He basically says you stick your dick in it, then you need to marry. And what I'm saying to him, that's unrealistic in today's world. Why? We live in a culture like America. Be honest with yourself. Have you ever in your adult life, because I figure all adults are watching this, have you went one day in your adult life and didn't see some form of sexual activity in front of your face, whether it's on a commercial, a television show, a movie, on your phone, in person, on some advertisement, on a billboard, something? You're going to see sex everywhere. You cannot live in an overly sexual culture, and then we are sexual beings and then not expect us to think and act on it all the time. And then two, I do agree that monogamy is a concept that's less than 200 years old, meaning that people by nature like to do and get with other people, especially men. I'm not saying this, I'm condoning it, I'm just being realistic. So when I say that, he is being so disingenuous when he says that you cannot move that way. That is wrong. That is wrong to put those expectations on people. What we need to do is do this. We are not in the game of shaming people because they made decisions at young ages. We all done it. if we've had some great people who fucked up early and they were given the opportunity and allowed to change that. And let me go somewhere else real quick. I just thought of something. See, I don't like that either because see what happens in our culture is that we are held to a higher standard than everyone else is. When a young white man in college drinks himself underneath the table and flunks out of school, or if he gets getting close to flunked out of school, his parents come in, they save him, they pay the school, they let him stay on the campus, they donate a library or something like that to make sure he stays there. He's allowed to fuck up all through his 20s, going into his 30s, and then dad says it's time for you to take over the business, son. So now here comes the son. He starts and realizes I need to now grow into who I am as myself. And he's allowed to do that because all those 20s and 30s, he's not judged in the same fashion as us. If we fuck up once, it's the end of our lives. That's what Anton is saying to me. At 19 years old, when I got how old was I? 17 years old, I think it was, when I impregnated for my first daughter. 17 years old. So he was basically telling me at 17 years old that at that point, the decision that I made, I knew better and I have to stick with it the rest of my life. Anton don't even believe that shit himself about his own life. He right now talking about he's not going to split up from his old lady. This is it. He's married for life. Let her ass run around and start cheating. Then he's going to use the Bible. He's going to say, well, the Bible says that I can leave because she committed adultery. This is what he's going to say to that. But it also says in your relationship that your husband has to take care of his wife in a certain manner. And it ain't just because of the way you say it's going to be. But I can definitively tell you, if his old lady cheated on him, oh, he's gone.
No sense, and it's devilish. It's too many women being killed by toxic men because they want to stay for emotional reasons of the children. Think about yourself, because you can't properly protect your child if you're being abused on any type of level, if you're not being provided for on any type of level. Love yourself enough to know when to leave. If not, you will pour this childhood trauma onto your child.
We use extreme words, and in order for him to even survive this debate, he got to use extreme words like abuse.
Oh, come on,
bro. Right? Because again, we're supposed to be talking to the majority, not the minority. People leave each other because they don't like each other, or because it's a difficult financial situation, or because they fall out of love, or because they have lust for somebody else. Of course, there are extreme circumstances where you don't stay in a situation. If you're getting beat up on, because that goes without saying, we shouldn't even have to address that. Of course you shouldn't stay in an abusive situation. But again, he's using extreme versions of the conversation in order to be able to survive, when in reality, we talking about people that's just walking away because they don't like the person, or they don't like his financial situation, or they don't like what it is that they think that is going on in his life or her life, or she see her friend and she get influenced by it. That's what we talking about. Again,
it sounds like that I'm on both sides of the fence. I agree with that as well. There's way too many people. And if women are breaking up their men 80 to 90% of the time, y'all are paying way too much attention to what is going on TV and not enough to what's going on in your personal life. Don't let them people out here let you believe that this shit is great. Look, I am a health practitioner. I deal with nothing but women on a consistent basis day to day. And when I tell you I deal with mothers, wives, grandmothers, these women they are paying attention to what the fun part of these little young girls are doing, and these young girls are not having fun. I'm telling you, these girls out here being reckless. Don't become one of them.
Most people are not just walking away because, oh man, every man. Come on, man.
A woman does not walk away from a place where she feels happy and she's stable on each and every level. A woman will never walk away from a man where she feels secure on each and every level. His man stepped out of a fantasy.
Look, extremes. Now, we saying that a woman will never walk away from a man if she feels secure. Most women don't even know what they don't even feel like themselves after they have a child and they got postpartum.
Come on, brother.
No. Tell me it's not true.
No, you're right.
Most women don't even know what they feel like when they have postpartum. And a lot of times these women are leaving situations when a child is an infant, when they're young. So if we talking about feelings, because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about purpose. See, love is not about how you feel. Right. Love is what you do.
I agree.
And so it's an endurance test. Even the word of God, the prize isn't given to the person that run the swift. It's given to the person that endureth to the end. It's not a feeling. You might feel some type of way right now. That's why the word says that you can't let the sun go down on your wrath, because you then have to absolve for that. Because when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be a completely different person, right? So I'm not going off of feelings. I'm going based off of what is the current situation. And again, it's not about me. It's about the child. So you may feel a certain type of way right now, but we going to work this out. We not leaving. We not getting divorced. Again, we going to use his extreme example of getting your head cracked in. Don't stick around when you're getting your head cracked in. But I'm speaking to the majority. Don't just leave just because you feel a certain type of way about
Ladies,
now I agree with Anton on that one. See, what we don't do, and I don't think enough people are doing this in relationships now. When relationships are ebb and flows, ups and downs. It's the God honest truth. You're not going to be happy 24/7. You're talking about being with someone as they are learning and navigating themselves in this world. See, when you meet a woman 18, 19 years old and y'all get together, she's still going to turn into a woman. She has certain personality traits just like you that's going to change within her 20s and her 30s into her 40s. And it's very hard to, I always say it's very easy to grow apart. It's very hard to grow together. So what's happening is I don't think most people are trying to. They're just quitting before they even get to the going hard part. So that's just, I agree with Tone on that one.
Ladies. If you feel unsafe, if this man is not leading you to the best version of yourself, if he's not being that guide, that leader, and that protector, leave that man. I don't care about no form of fantasies, period. And men, if you're doing everything you know to do for your woman, to keep her happy, to love her, to protect her and guide her, and she's still doing things that you don't recommend, or she's going out there doing things she has no business doing, leave that woman. If not, your children will reap the hurt and the pain of that cycle. We have to break these generational curses.
I want to leave it there. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to put my pimpin' music back on real quick. I'm going to leave it right there for the day. Matter of fact, hold on. Get their asses off my screen. Get their asses off my screen so I can leave it there. Hold on one second there. So, God damn it. Here we go. There we go. So I'm going to leave it there for the day, and we're going to pick that back up probably Monday after the chill report. I got another video I want you guys to cover, which is going to get a little more in depth. It was a really good series. I encourage each guys to go out and watch that whole video if you would like. I'm just taking portions and pieces that stood out to me. But great show today. I thoroughly enjoyed you guys. We'll be back on again on Monday around 11-ish. I can't say exactly what definitive time, but I look forward to it. And I want to say to everyone that is watching right now, thank you very much for riding with me. This has been a struggle to get everything up and going. We don't have the biggest team in the world, so we're trying to build it out. So I appreciate all the love and the support that you get. Always share the video. On YouTube, if you find the 300 Radio channel, please go out and like it. Please do. Let's build it up. I got a lot more to bring you guys, and I got some new things I want to tell you about starting on Monday. I'm excited to tell you, but I can't tell you now. But other than that, I appreciate you, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one. All right, peace.
Whoa. Before you leave this podcast and go somewhere else, did you hit the notification bell? Because if you didn't, please do so now. And I'm talking to the people who've already subscribed, but if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that as well. Hit the like button, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
From the city streets to your home, we bring the vibe to your phone. Music videos.